You can live a life full of love and light if you just let the Spirit guide you. It's the remedy where you'll find peace, but you must let the Spirit guide you.
Who made y'all priests?
Hey, what's up, world? This Fafore.
What's up, good people? This is Awo Oseun, and welcome back to the Who Made Y'all Priest podcast, where we talk about our spiritual journeys, our everyday life experiences, and the issues of the times from the perspective of two people who just happen to be priests. Fafore, what's going on, man?
Hey, there you go again with that Oseun being all formal.
Hey, Oseun is my name, man.
You know what? I'm about to start all over that. I'm gonna be technical like you too.
Hey, just for transparency, man, just so all of the people out there to know that Fafore be hating on my Nigerian hats that I want to start wearing, man. He be really hating on that, man. And this coming from the dude that got on one of our episodes with a snapback on. And a white t-shirt like he in the trap.
Hey, but see, listen, my hat, my snapback, and my white tee is a reflection of the culture in which I grew up in. Them hats, man, that's not for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta let that go. Like,
neither is a dashiki.
That's why I don't just voluntarily put none on.
But you're gonna put on them linen joints. You gonna put on a cloak and look like a Buddhist monk and all that type of stuff.
I'm definitely getting a cloak. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get a cloak and I'm gonna get them like them yoga type pants. I gotta find. I think it's harem. Harem. I think that's the name of them.
That's what they call them.
I think that's kind of. It's like the jogger joints. That's like big in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about that. You talking about them flying squirrel pants, man.
Man, I'm telling you though, that with some chucks, the canvas joints, and a fitted white tee, and like a hooded cloak joint, but not like button up in the front. Like it got to be unbuttoned. You know what I'm saying? And then rock you some mala beads. That's a fire look. I'm telling you. That's
I'm gonna roast you. Look. I'm gonna roast you.
I'm telling you. That look says I'm enlightened.
Does it?
Man, yeah.
Nah. That look says you homeless.
No, I'm telling you. that is I am at a level of enlightenment that most people can't get to. Outfit. That's what that is. That's the uniform of I am capable of like going to heaven and having some say so. like I'm gonna be a general in the army in heaven type. That's what the outfit means.
All right, you gonna have you some rank up there, huh?
Man, for real. I'm telling y'all, when y'all see me walking around these streets with that outfit on, just understand that I ain't who you think I am. Like I ain't that guy no more. I'm transcendent. You know, I'm gonna be talking in parables.
Right.
You know, all of that.
Right. Handing out proverbs, huh?
Right. And I'm only sitting Indian style on the floor. Like that's it.
Hey, I can't even sit like that, so that ain't gonna happen. I can't even sit like that.
I've been doing yoga, man. I mean, not like super regularly, but I'm about to step it up though. I'm about to really step it up. When I step up my yoga game, that's part of the whole transition and transformation to where I'm gonna be, you know, have that uniform on.
Hey, you gonna wear them sandals like Saguru be wearing?
I ain't there yet.
Like them the same sandals you had on in Panama, wherever you was at.
But See, them sandals was like, first of all, I'm only wearing them in that type of environment. First and foremost.
Not when we can roast you.
No. Like, I'm not rocking them to the grocery store or nothing like that. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna put some slides on for that.
Right.
Like, dog, them is just like certain tropical vibe type of vacations. That's all that's for.
All right.
Yeah. No. I'm definitely not like throwing on some jeans and going to the mall in them. That's not what they're for. And I had to have multiple people like, tell me like, hey man, when you traveling, I'm telling you this the move, you know what I'm saying, for walking on the sand and this, that, and the other. I said, okay, cool. A couple people told me it took a while, and then I felt like this was God talking to me after so many people said the exact same thing. I said, God must want me to have these.
Where'd you get those from?
So I can take you there. It ain't a store that, like nobody I know for real like go to. It's like a store where you can get like hiking shoes and hiking boots. And
is it
it ain't like, it's like a Dick's for like hiking and that type of stuff. Maybe even surfing. I don't know. It like they got some shoes that I seen. Like they got some brand of shoes. And I was like, oh, these look comfortable. I can't tell you what the brand is, but I was in the gym the other day and I saw a dude in there that be in there, every morning. When I go, I seen he had some on. So I stopped him and asked if they was comfortable. He was like, yeah, but like they ain't got these at Foot Locker. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So.
And it's not that 511 plays, right?
No. It's on the tip. No, I was gonna say it's on the tip of my tongue. It really ain't, because I couldn't tell you what the name of whatsoever.
Right.
But I had Googled the type of shoes that I got, like where I can get them. And that's where the name came up. And I went there and I was like, oh, they got hiking shoes or whatever. I ain't getting my hiking shoes from there. But like the ones I use the most, I got my hiking boots. Like I got some hiking boots, like when I'm, like go to what is it, Zion in Utah, when you doing some hiking like that, where it's gonna be some mud, some rocks, you know what I'm saying? It might be like some ankle high water, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, stuff like that.
So you kind of prepare for everything, huh?
Yeah. But for just my regular hikes, like in Sedona and places like that, I got my New Balances. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I gotta pull my boots out though, because I feel like when I pull them out, I'm gonna get respect from like, you know what I'm saying? Like the white people that be hiking, because that's really all that be hiking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I was getting respect from my New Balances. They was looking at me like, okay.
Right.
Respect. But when I pull out these boots, yeah, I'm gonna get
I've been in the mountains once. I was in Billings, Montana, working, and the hotel that I stayed in right across the street was what I call a mountain. But what they had done was they had paved the mountain so you could jog up the mountain without the jagged rocks and things like that. It was paved. But then I went into a mountain where they actually had caves where you had to hike, and I had to be with somebody and ask about snakes and things like that. Like, hey man, what kind of snakes up here?
Scary.
So you ain't scared?
Nah, man. I have, first of all, when I go on these trips, I'm going to E5,
right,
getting the energy of my trip, seeing if I need to make any prayers or offers or anything like that to make sure my trip be smooth.
right.
And if it say, yeah, I'm doing that immediately. So now when I be out, I'll be good. I don't be tripping. I mean, you didn't heard me talk about my trips and stuff I be doing. The Cuba trip.
Right.
When I was doing, going people I don't know through alleys and, trap houses and stuff like that. Like, I was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So
All right. Yeah.
yeah, I'd be cool. I'd be cool.
Yeah.
So,
I need to do some traveling, man, and get out more. I ain't really with the water thing, but the mountains, I think I can mess with that. I think I can mess with the mountains, man.
you could. You should do that, man. We're gonna have
Yeah.
to go on a hike, man.
Oh
We're
yeah.
gonna have to
I
do
can
that
do some
like
hiking.
next summer.
And then when I'm with somebody, I'm less scared. So, if I get bit by a snake, you'll be able to tell the story, or we'll be able to come on here and laugh with the people about
Right.
how we
That'd
got
be
bit by a
good.
snake.
That'd be good material. So I mean, I'm not wishing that on you, but you
All
know what
right.
I'm saying.
I
To
think
have,
it'd be
we go.
better. I think it'd be better material if you was the one that got bit, because I think you'll be able to better act out how it really happened. You'll be the one to act it out. Be like, man, I was this. Yeah, yeah.
No, that ain't
Your story's gonna have all kind of sound effects. So yeah.
that ain't part of my contract. So,
I'm always around snakes though. My
just don't
job,
be so scared.
my job. I mean, I ain't scared like I was at first. I used to be scared of lizards and frogs, but I'm good now.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, look, let's jump off into this episode, man.
Right.
We had another special guest for you, and I know y'all gonna enjoy this. So go ahead and bring in our guest for today.
Yes, sir.
Awo Adeleke, what's going on, man?
Man, how y'all doing today? Alafia.
Lafayette.
What's up with you?
Man, same old, man. We appreciate you taking time out your busy schedule to come talk with us.
Man, just got in the house too, brother. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just got in here.
You just
Good
made
time.
it, huh?
Yeah, just made it in the crib, man. Just made it up in here, man. Just came up in the little shrine room. We finna get it in, you know, man.
That's my fault. You were son to shine go. I should have accounted for that.
Oh, we talking about being late? Yeah, bro. Always doing something.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Right.
I see you got your face on your shirt, huh?
Oh yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this one of the shirts for my merchandise. You know what I'm saying? For the ladies though. Ain't no band, ain't no dude gonna be trying to walk around with my
I mean,
face on.
They got shirts with Malcolm X face and
Man, I owe you a
Bear
shirt too, man. But it's a whole nother story. I owe you a shirt. You already know, Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I had told the dude to mail it to you. He, it's a whole nother story, but we'll talk about it later.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into the topic of the episode, we want to congratulate you on your Grammy-nominated album, Love Ashe, man. We want
already, man. Sure
give you
appreciate you, man.
big ups for that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I didn't put my artist, my name known as Nwambe as the artist. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm most definitely I got considered for a Grammy. Now we're gonna get it straight. You know what I'm saying? But I got considered for a Grammy, and that's a good start. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a good start.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we playing with the big boys too. So the more money you got, the more you can play in that field. So it's about money though.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So for those that want to get your album and listen to it, what can they expect from you on your album?
Oh man, you can expect an album that's full of passion, full of in-depth issues dealing with everyday life, relationship issues. Also, it could be about some of the songs is about everyday living, issues with men. You know what I'm saying? The issues that we have with women. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it's also personal victories and things like that in there. You know what I'm saying, about personal growth. It's a pretty round album, and I really enjoyed making that album. I did get some people from overseas to kind of join in with me too, so I can get a different perspective from different parts of the world and stuff.
Right.
And so yeah, it's cool. You know,
That's beautiful. It's a good album. Dope album.
Yeah,
neo soul vibe.
Yeah.
He gets busy on the vocals. So check
I
him
always
out.
like to say, I like to say that the vocals are more soulful than the music. The music is more a world to me, you know what I'm saying, because of what I'm trying to do. And then the way that the shows go, bringing in the djembe and different elements of jazz and things like that, it just kind of takes away from just saying neo soul. It's really just some good ass music, you know what I'm saying? And,
Right.
And I'm using every element of every genre that I can to create my art.
Right, right. So how'd you come up with the idea to have our Luo on the introduction?
Oh man, I just called him, man, and told him, "Hey man, so why don't you say something? Bless the album." And so he got on there, man, and blessed the album. He said what he said. It was, you know, it was, you could tell it was pure.
Right.
Yeah, and so we put it on there, man. I put threw a little echo on there and make it seem like he just, you know what I'm saying, like he coming from outer space, like one of the ancestors or something.
Right.
And it was cool, man. I was very excited that Baba Femi wanted to even do that. You know, man, you know how Luo, you know how he is, you know what I'm saying? He most definitely gonna support us all the way to the fullest.
You know? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. So tell us a little about yourself and your spiritual journey that eventually brought you to where you are now, to Ifa.
Man, so I'm gonna make it a very quick story because it's kind of drawn out, but I can just go back maybe about 8 years ago. It was a sister by the name of Zoe or whatnot. She we were always into spiritual knowledge anyway, you know what I'm saying, different schools of thought or whatnot. And so I was like telling her one day, I was like, man, you know what, I want to find out if I got a curse on me, because I was having certain issues in life, you know what I'm saying, like it's just bad luck. I would just say a lot of bad luck. And so so she was like, man, you ought to come with me down to Houston to meet Baba Femi. I said, okay, then, cool. I'll go down there and I meet the brothers. Him and Obani was there, and Shango Dare was there, and also Baba Renee. We was at Baba Renee's house. I met them at Baba Renee's house. You know what I'm saying? And that's when Baba La Christian was going through Ibodu. I didn't know what they were going through. I just know the Negroes couldn't talk to me. And so they were sitting there, man, like in a little line or whatnot, and they came in the house and took my shoes off. And man, they washed my feet, man, and they washed my head. Nobody had never done that to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is some different shit. You know what I'm saying? Then they set me in front of the mat, you know, and Obani come in, brother, looking like one of them actors, you know what I'm saying, one of them black actors, one of them dark black actors, you know what I'm saying, from New York or something. He come in.
Right.
And, you know, and the way he carried himself, I thought he was older than me. Come to find out, he's younger than me, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, oh, wow, okay. So I sat down, and nobody got to throw in the chain. I ain't know nothing about what they was doing. And I just thought it was fascinating. And I remember telling Baba Femi them that, because, you know, I'm an empath, so I was feeling certain stuff. I wasn't afraid to express what I was feeling in the room. So I told him, I said, man, I feel like, you know, y'all looking at whatever y'all looking at, but I feel like y'all holding back. Everybody said, they did the same thing you did, brother. You know what I'm saying? They said, he dead on it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And so they begin to tell me, fast forward, they begin to tell me that, you know, I'm not cursed and all that, and that I needed to change certain things about myself. And so I began to do, that's where the journey began, brother. And so I began to do the work. Now I thought I was doing the work, but really, that's really the ego.
Right.
And then, but personally, it's not reflected on your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like people can't really see it. Once you really make a transformation, people will begin to see the change in you. And then that's when you know that, hey, something is really something beautiful is going on within myself. And then that's when you can be able to move forward in the right direction. Walking in Wapele, good character.
Right.
So after that, man, they did the reading for me, man, shook hands with the brother. And then I came home. So you already know I'm blown away. So then from there, my wife was like, she's the one that really like, yo, we should really look into this. So she encouraged me to really come into Ifa, even though she came from a Christian background. And I was the one that was really on the 5% shit, you know what I'm saying? Really on the Dr. Malachi York stuff, you know what I'm saying? Ancient Kemetic teachings. I was really on that level. So when we began to come in, man, right before we got in, we got initiated. We went through the whole process. And then from there, that's when I began to do the work, like the real work. So I started off doing plant medicine. So that's pretty much how I got in, y'all.
Plant medicine. That's a good segue.
Yeah.
I want to get into how I met Awo Adeleke. So, both of us are sons of Shango. And they say that based upon your Orishas, you exhibit those same type of characteristics and attributes, right?
Yeah.
So, Baba had a men's meeting. And Oseun, I don't know if you were there at that.
I was there. We were
there
together.
Okay. So we're at the men's meeting, and then here comes Awo Adeleke. Loud, boisterous, telling the stories about different things. And I'm sitting there watching dude, and I'm like, hey, I like dude's energy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I type of dude.
Right. I remember us talking about that.
Right. And the reason why we bring it up is because being in certain, well, I didn't have any insight into this up to this point of EFI into spiritual systems. It was all religion, and it was really Christianity.
Right.
And that's not the type of energy that you take into Bible study or, anything kind of affiliated, at least what I've seen. Now, there may be places that they do that, but it's not that type of energy. And he came in on a completely type of different energy. And for me, it really was hitting home that I'm in a completely different environment. Right. So then we're all at, Baba's house again. And then that's when you were telling me about your experience with plant medicine.
Yes, sir.
You're telling us a story or whatever. And I'm sitting there like, that's interesting. And for me to gravitate to it at that time was really shocking for me because, I didn't taking any kind of substance wasn't my thing. I don't drink. I don't smoke weed or anything like that. So and I know it's different, but for people on the outside looking in, it's really the same. You know what I'm saying? That's how we put it all in. So any type of substance wasn't my thing. So, but the way you told the story and your experiences, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I'll kind of put it in the back of my mind until one day I have a conversation with Oseun and we're talking about getting readings and, we're being told to do or not do certain things. And my answer is always, well, how I'm supposed to do or not do that. All I know is what I'm doing and how I'm doing. I don't know how to do that. How do I do that? And I started to kind of look at other ways in which you can then connect with these things that you're supposed to do. How do you kill the ego? How do you heal trauma that started when you were in your mom's stomach when she was pregnant?
Exactly.
Or, how do you heal those type of things? So I started off by going to the chakra system. And then from the chakra system, I then think back to our conversation in plant medicine. And then that's when I start having my conversations with you. And you put me on this path that I've gone on in uncovering different healing modalities.
Right. Exactly.
So I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your story with me. And thank you for being present and being open. Because I had questions. And me and you just spent hours on the phone talking about it.
Right. Yeah, man, plant medicine, like I said, when I was introduced to plant medicine, like I said, even though cannabis is plant medicine as well, what I'm saying, even though, it's a large amount of people, consuming it, every day, what I'm saying, or whatnot. But when I was introduced to ayahuasca, I went to Alua and I asked him, I said, is this something that you think I should do? And he said, he dropped the train like he do, what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, it's something you need to do. Your ancestors would like that. And I said, okay. So I did. I went to the ceremony. I wore my white. I'm saying? I was in a room, some people that I was familiar with, and so a lot of people I wasn't familiar with. Went through the process. The brother that was a shaman or whatnot, good brother. He walked us through the process. They played the djembe. they had the fire going. They had the ancestors at the altar, at the fireplace. Everybody brought the pictures of the ancestors and stuff. And I was unfamiliar with that, so I didn't bring my ancestors. I didn't know nothing that you were supposed to do that. You was bringing that for protection. You know what I'm saying? And we go in the ceremony, man, and I begin to drink the ayahuasca. And remember seeing one of the friends, and he just looked at me. He said, "Man, let go." And man, I tell you, man, it was like the walls had broke itself up. I began to see the universe, you know what I'm saying, and see things that I've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? It was shocking. I'm talking. It was almost like, man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I thought I died.
Wow.
Literally, I thought I died. I said, man, I done drank this stuff and died.
Wow. So were you outside of yourself, looking at yourself?
I was really, I was outside of myself, but I couldn't see myself. And at one point, I couldn't see myself because, and to be honest with you, I couldn't get through the fear. It was so much fear there that I couldn't enjoy that moment. It took me a minute. Now we talking about ayahuasca now, so we talking about something that's going to stay in the system for at least 6 to 8 hours, or at least all night long. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I began to realize that, okay, I need to get a grip, this is when I began to really the ayahuasca, the plant manage, that feminine voice or whatever that you may hear or whatever most people say they hear. I heard the feminine lady talk to me. That's when she began to talk to me. I did have this weird jerking in my my left arm, but it was explained to me that was like negative energy that didn't want to be released.
Wow.
And but anyway, man, we in the ceremony. I think at some point I passed out. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of there. Phew.
Like fell asleep or passed out, like
no,
knocked out?
Like out, passed out. And I woke up and I was in I was like prostrated in the middle of the universe. Was nobody in the room but just the universe. Like say I'm suspended in the sky, and you just in a prostrate. Then I was, man, I started screaming right there. You know what I'm saying? That's what my partner said. I was screaming because I was like, oh man, I'm gone. I died. I'm out of here.
Right.
And somehow, man, I kept opening and closing my eyes, and then next thing I was back in the room. But then when I was back in the room, every other person, it was like I ain't gonna say everybody in that room, but it was certain people in that room, and they looked like demons.
People that you knew?
No, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But the image that I saw was like it was like a disfigured person. It was a dark shadow, and it would come out of the person and laugh, and then go back in the person.
Man.
And I was going crazy right there. Rob Baby was like, yo, one of the sisters that was like kind of handling things, she was like, yo, you got to get it together, bro. I said, I can't keep seeing shit. Can't.
Wow.
And she was like, I can't get it. She like, get the grip to get it together. So I just got to the point where I just kind of like held my face. Like, you know how you in a bad dream? Like, man, shit, man, it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I did something. I think I did too much or something. Everything is running through your head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And but then somehow I got into grip, and I remember seeing my partner Jamar. You met Jimmy this over the weekend. I remember him walking by me, and I heard the voice, and it said, "Yo, come by the fireplace." And I said, I saw Jay walk by me. I thought they was talking to him. Like whoever was talking, I thought he was coming from this side of the room, and they were saying, "Hey, tell him to, come to you." So I'm trying to tap him.
Right.
And the lady said, "No, I ain't talking to him. I'm talking to you. Come to the fireplace." So I obeyed. I get up. I walk towards the fireplace. I sit at the fireplace just like I'm sitting now. I sit at the fireplace. And I went into like a trance, and I was looking at this flame, and the fireplace it was like a triangle. It was like a triangle like this. And I'm looking at the flame in the middle of the triangle, right? It's big old, I mean, it's a big old fireplace, bro. This mug is burning. You know what I'm saying? Brother, in the triangle, it was a green flame in the middle of the triangle.
Wow.
I tell my homeboy, his name Ephraim, he live in Atlanta. I said, man, you see that? Now, he ain't on no ayahuasca. He do like this. He said, wow. Then next thing you know, I start asking questions to the lady. I was like, I asked her like, why is there so much suffering? And she told me that it was because it's not because of them, it's because of us. It's because of mankind. I said, I asked her why they allow so much suffering, and they was like saying, like we don't really we ain't got nothing to do with it. We don't get caught up in human affairs in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you know, everybody think okay, the Orisha XYZ and they controlling all this. No.
Right.
No, sir. Not what the lady told me.
Right.
No, sir. And I'm gonna ride with that to the end of I leave here. I asked her to show me. I asked to see through my son's eyes, and I saw through my son's eyes. Do you understand what I'm just saying to you?
I do understand. That's a lot to take in.
I asked them. I said something about how old are you? It was dealing with math or something, right? And they showed me an image that when it was the same image, but it was like, you see it in the Matrix, you know what I'm saying? You know how the when they, he had the gun rack, you know what I'm saying? And I said, how infinite are you or something like that? But it was so many in a row. It kept going and going and going and going and going and going. I mean, I can't even explain to you. And then I remember picking up some information because I had an iPad with me. And I was trying to jot down everything I was doing. I was, like take bullet points, you know what I'm saying? So I can remember what it is that I was going on mentally or whatever. Whatever I was doing, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to make sure I could write it down. And I remember they was telling me in there, the lady said she would start talking about sacred geometry. She was talking about sound, and she was talking about shapes and colors. How these really are one and the same, but these are different languages, or different and these are different expressions of the same thing. Frequency, all that frequency. If you look at frequency and you really take a deep look at it, you can tell what color it is on the spectrum. And then I felt an overwhelming sense of love like I never felt before in my life. Like I've never felt that type of love before, ever in life. And the lady said, I know you feel abandoned, but you are not abandoned. You are loved. And boy, I cried forever.
Wow.
I think I cried that whole night.
Wow.
Because I felt that way. I felt abandoned by my parents. Even though my mom was there, I felt abandoned. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, my father, God bless his soul, he did crack all his life. He did heroin and drugs all his life. We talking about they said he started at 15 and he didn't stop doing drugs until he left her, and that was 68. The whole time he spent his whole cycle of life just doing drugs.
Wow.
Wow.
And then you got a son like me who have enough empathy, respect for you throughout your process.
Right.
Because I understand you sick. I understand you don't know no better.
Mm.
We talking about spiritually.
Right.
But like you said earlier, Jim, you said this earlier. You said people go through things as a child, but we don't really know how it affects you until you come into adulthood. You know what I'm saying? What really has affected you. You know what I'm saying? Or it keeps you in a position based on past experiences, you know what I'm saying, that got you acting some kind of way or losing out on opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Things
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? And so it really opened me up, man. Ayahuasca really taught me that, it's important that I got into some self-love. You know what I'm saying? Rituals and things like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Get more in depth into what's going on with you. Find out why you have such a temperamental issues. Find out why you feel this way.
Right.
Be honest in the process of healing. A lot of people are not honest with themselves.
Right.
So they can't fully heal. And so that was the first time I went, man. And I got a lot of phone calls after that, brother. He was calling me, telling me, hey, was it me in the room that looked like a demon? You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, that would have been one of the questions I had
really
too.
tapped into my power. I understood that not only do I feel certain things, but now I know if I take something like that I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it now. So now I was like, okay, because me and Jamar, then we call ourselves X-Men. We call ourselves inner astronauts. We got a little slang that we rock. You know what I'm saying? Because we call ourselves white boys because we're not afraid to take the medicine. Not afraid to go in those chambers of the mind. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We're not afraid to do that. So from there, man, we went ayahuasca. We went changa. Changa experience was beautiful. Did it in my studio, in my upstairs in my house, and saged the whole house. Got everybody up there. My wife and the kids, they had went on vacation. They had got away. Man, we did changa. Beautiful experience, man. Changa is another psychedelic that produces DMT or whatnot. We took that. I was able to see the snake that everybody's talking about. They see. I also saw a light beam that came out of my wall. He looked at me and then he went back in.
Wow.
Beautiful experience right there, man. Then I went back again, did ayahuasca for the second time. Actually, visit different worlds.
Wow.
This big tall brother, he was about 10 feet tall. He had he was like, I'll say like Tron. He had blue all around him, and he had the mustache, and he was big. And he told me to come on, and I came with him, and then he transformed into like a ship, and then he took me in to like these different areas. He would take me within a planet, right? He would take me on a planet. He would take me in the atmosphere. He would let me see what was going on a little bit, then he would shoot me up out of there. He would shoot me back out of there. You know what I'm saying? Now the whole time I'm in this ayahuasca ceremony, I'm in a yoga pose like that. I'm in a yoga pose like that the whole time, right? And there was a white lady next to me, and I can tell you some other stuff too about the dude. What he showed me. He showed me creation. He started off with the most simplest animal you can do, and then it kept morphing into different animals, all the way up to the whales and shit. It was crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
He told me he didn't really talk to me much. He didn't say much. He just took me places and let me see things.
Right.
And I'm talking about like all that Aztec stuff you see, the colors and all that, man. If I, and I could draw too. You know what I'm saying? If I took my time to sit down and try to redraw it, I could probably draw it because it's that vivid today. When I got up to fast forward, the lady I was telling you about, the white lady that was next to me, she was like, "Who is this dude?" And I'm looking around the room. I'm thinking, I don't know who she talking to. She was talking about. She's talking about him. I can feel his essence.
Talking about you.
Yeah. She said I was vibrating so hard. She could feel the energy. You know what I'm saying? Like radiating off of me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I purged that day too.
In what way? In what way?
I threw up. I purged.
Okay.
Mm. Yeah, I purged that day. And that same thing, overwhelming sense of love. Came home, man, had a different appreciation for my wife and kids. Mm. And one of my old dudes was Oseun. Mm. And so one of my patterns, because I'm not afraid to tell anybody, one of my patterns was every 9 years I would break up with a girl. I didn't know that until we looked at it. Like, oh, right. 9 years, I'm getting rid of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. But what it was me not wanting to be responsible or take responsibility for others. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's really my gift. Helping others, or also bringing order back to the family, to my family, bringing order back to the family. You know what I'm saying? Being the redeemer, right? And bringing healing back to the family from a generational standpoint. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if you study the background on my family, the women always had to raise the kids without no man. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So you go on 6, 7, 8 generations without men playing any role in the family structure. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Now you want to know why, and some of us got and some of us don't. We have a lot of homosexuality or things going on in the family or weirdo things going on in the family. It's because there is an imbalance somewhere going, and it needs to be repaired. Mm. What they call karma. They call it karma. Family trauma, karma, whatever they call it.
Right.
You have to, if you get into a spiritual space where you've been lifted up, you have an obligation to mend things where others couldn't. Right. So you got to step up your game.
Absolutely.
Not just as an Awo, but as a human being, as a man.
As a man, right.
So yeah.
So do you feel like that plant medicine allowed you to heal from some wounds that you possibly had from childhood?
Of course. I was reading the article where they said Ricky Lake, right? Was there her name Ricky Lake?
The talk show host.
Yeah,
that's old school.
Yeah, she was taking ayahuasca, right? And they said that every time you take ayahuasca, it's like 10 years of therapy, psychological therapy.
Mm. I don't think it did that for Jimmy, though. I don't think it did that for Fafore.
You know what? I just think Jimmy gonna be all right.
Yeah. He blessed.
Everybody's experience. He may not be as traumatized as I was. Mm. He may not need it. He really may not even need it. So you can experience some people want to do it for the experience. Some people really need to do it for the healing. Mm. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to experience something. Right. But it may not be for you. You know what I'm saying? It may the universe may not want you to see nothing at this point in time. See what I'm saying? Not saying never, you might do shrooms and do psilocybin and hit the wall. See what I'm saying?
Right.
And I guarantee if you do the doses that we do, you're gonna hit the wall.
Now, psilocybin is different than changa, correct?
Yeah, of course. I mean, changa is a form of shroom or mushroom as well. You know what I'm saying? But your psilocybin, you know what I'm saying, different forms of mushrooms or whatever, man. Those you will if you take enough, man, you will have a psychedelic moment.
Mm.
Mm.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
how was your experience on the ayahuasca, Fafore?
Man, my experience on ayahuasca is the same as my experience, or I should say similar to my experience with rape. For me, it was a lot of purging. Um, like I haven't vomited in over 10 years, definitely since I've been, plant-based. And, we started off the ceremony with rape.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of rape. It was more than I've ever done before. And that rape, whew,
Was different.
yeah, it put me on my ass. I was out of there, right? And then after you do that, maybe about 45 minutes or so, was like, all right, time to take this ayahuasca. So it's my turn. They called me to come get the ayahuasca. And man, I just threw up. I had my bag in my hand. I'm just going in. And after I did that, I was like, all right, here you go. But he said it was a concentrated form, so we just did like a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So took the shot. I went back and I sat down in my chair, and I'm trying to get comfortable. I'm leaning forward, I'm leaning back, I'm sweating, the whole nine. I done already threw up. Then I go run to the bathroom.
Right.
It's coming out, both ends, right? So I go do that. And I come back in and I'm sitting down, and I had brought a cot. It was two of us who had brought cots. So I brought a cot. So I went in and laid down.
Mm-hmm.
And so I laid down, and they playing music. They having a jam session. They having a great time. And me and one of the other guys, we, like I said, it was coming out both ends for us. So we was like, me and him was both laying down.
Mm.
So we laying down, I'm listening to the music, and then I doze off. And I wake up, and they talking, doing the thing, and I gotta throw up again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh man, and then I'm having this conversation in my head. I'm saying, oh man, I gotta throw up, man. I cannot throw up. I already threw up once, and to me, throwing up is the worst thing ever. Like I can do other types of colds and things of that nature when I used to get sick or whatever.
Yeah, I'm right with you on that, man. I don't like throwing up either.
Oh man, throwing up is the worst, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, look, breathe through it. You're not gonna throw up. Just deep breathe through it. And I'm talking to myself, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. And then next thing I know, another voice just enters into my head, right? While my conscious mind is having this one conversation, hey man, don't throw up, breathe, you gotta do something, man. You cannot throw up. Like that's how the voice is in my head. Another voice shows up. You gotta let it go. You have to let go of all the emotions. And I'm like, man, what the hell is this dude talking about? I'm trying not to throw up. You know what I'm saying?
It was a masculine voice?
Yeah, it was a masculine voice.
Okay.
But it was super calm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you have to let go of the emotions. If you let go of the emotion, you will feel better. And I'm like, man, I'm just trying not to throw up, man. That's that you can't control everything. You too much want to always be in control. Mm-hmm. You gotta let it go. And I'm like, man, hell, if you let it go, if you let go of the emotions, you'll feel better. So like, all right, so I sit up, right? Because I'm like, I'm laying down. I ain't throwing up like this. So let me sit up. So I sit up, And I'm like, oh, no. Take a breathe. Take deep breaths so you don't throw up. See, you're doing it again. You're trying to be in control. You have to let it go. So finally, after going back and forth with this voice, I said, all right. So I get up and I sit in the chair like if I'm gonna throw up, let me do it right. So I sit in the chair, I got my bag open, ready. I'm just going in, right? So one of the facilitators comes and sits on my cot directly in front of me. Right. So I get done throwing up and I'm just like, leaned over like this. And the facilitator's talking to me, like, talk to me. So I tell them just what, I told y'all. So he's in there talking. And like I said, he's sitting on my cot. So I'm like, I need to lay down. And he said, okay. He does this, like, scoots over. I'm like, nah, G. This is what I'm thinking in my head, like, I said, I need to lay down. He do it again. Okay, scoots over a little bit more. I'm like, dude, still on the cot. Like, it's on the cot, like, no, I'm 6'2". Like,
right.
My feet gonna hang off a little bit.
Right.
Me by myself anyway. Dude sit on there. So I said, you know what? Forget it. So I go and I lay down next to him. Basically, my head is in dude's lap at this point, right? And then dude puts his arm around me as I'm laying down. And I immediately felt better. I said, oh, okay, we doing this. So he continues to talk. And he has his arm on me for a long time. Like, he's having this conversation. And I'm comfortable in the situation. Now, me being all masculine, I'm not, under normal circumstances, we not doing this.
You know what he was doing?
What's that?
He was grounding you.
Absolutely. And I also looked at it as a sign of, hey man, you got to get off all that masculine energy. Right? Like, you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is cool. You can do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the next morning I made a comment, like, because we start at 7:00 in the evening. They're with us. We're going through this whole process to 9:00 the next morning.
Right.
Like you said, like, we're there for a long time. And we're all having the conversation about our experience or whatnot. I'm talking to him about, my experience. And I had my boy I've known since high school was there, one of his friends, right? We all kind of grew up in similar type neighborhood. Right. So I was telling the part about when I was like, I needed to lay down. And them two started laughing because they already know where I was going with it. I was like, yeah, I was expecting you to get up. And they dying laughing because they knew that's what it was. It was like, yeah, we peeped that. I was like, yeah, I wasn't trying to like lay next to you. I wanted you to get up so I could lay down by myself. But like, what you were saying, he kind of went into that energy. To that same statement you made where he said he's had an experience where he's facilitating somewhere and he goes up to a man and just hugs him. And the man just starts bawling like a baby. So he just said he felt my energy at that moment and was like, this is what he needed to do. And I was like, man, I appreciate it for real, because that is what I needed to do, because I immediately felt better once he did it.
Yeah, man. A lot of times, it's okay. I think we was trying to tell y'all brothers this too before, though, how you need to, it's important to tap into your feminine side.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And because it just bring about some balance, you know what I'm saying, to what you got going on. And right. I could say that I was overly masculine in a sense, and but I can tell you where mine draw from. When I grew up, I had an older brother that would tell me I was gay all the time. I ain't nigga gay. I'm like, dude, I ain't gay. You know what I'm saying? So I spent my whole high school and middle school and high school trying to get that particular character, you know what I'm saying? That particular thing off my back from my brother, my own brother. See what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm in it gay. And I'm like, bro, why do you keep going around telling everybody I'm gay? Oh, because when we was little, we had got molested. That don't make me gay though, bro.
Right.
Why are you going around telling people this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So things could have happened to you that can cause you to be overly masculine. You know what I'm saying? Because you're so busy trying to prove to somebody else that you are that. Just
Right.
be. You raise your family, be with your wife, and just be. That's being a man. You know what I'm saying? Learn
Right.
to have sensibility, learn to show empathy, all the feminine traits. And this is what's going to bring balance to your manhood. See what I'm saying?
Right.
As I got older, you can't run that line by me now. My brother know it. You see what I'm saying? You can't run that line by me. It don't work with me.
Right.
If anything, you gay. No, for real. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You gay because you want to say I'm gay. You know what I'm saying? What do you see in me that's really in you?
Right. 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 Right.
That's why you got to be careful how you judge people, because it's only you judging yourself. You're only judging a reflection of yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know? So
for me, it was a lack of nurturing growing up.
yeah, that could
You
do
know,
it too.
I was
Depending on-
raised
yeah.
with a mother who was hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I was raised by aunts, who was gangsters because of the kind of neighborhood that we grew up in, and they just had to be that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got you.
So that was the experience growing up, and then that just kind of snowballs, so yeah, so that's, like you said, that's part of what we were all told as a group of us when we got initiated, of having to tap into the feminine. So that's one of the things that Oseun and myself have been focused on, trying to really tap into that, because that's where your superpower lies. You tap into that, you get that together. Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to have that experience like y'all did. I didn't have that type of experience, and I've only tried rapé, and I tried it with a few of the guys at the conference, and my experience was I just felt horrible. I purged, but I felt horrible.
See,
even the next morning.
I've never purged off of rapé. I've been doing rapé probably about over 60 days, 70 days now.
In a row?
In a row. 2 times a day. See what I'm saying? So, and I'm talking about some nice big healthy doses.
And what type of experiences have you had with rapé?
A lot of lucid dreams. Very, 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 very clear dreams. You know what I'm saying? Did I tell you about I'm working on a cartoon a cartoon short film, and it's based on one of my dreams I had. It's called The Flying Peacock.
Wow.
Oh no, you haven't heard about that?
Yeah, we talk about it off the camera.
Okay.
The flying peacock.
Now,
wow.
We all know what peacock don't do. What?
Right. They don't fly.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I want to have
crazy dream, man.
I
really tap into it because I'm gonna say this too, because I use I use chickweed, like I was telling you. You know what I'm saying? To enhance certain things about myself. You know what I'm saying? I bathe, take spiritual baths, and do certain types of spiritual baths in order for me to be able to tap into the deeper side of myself. A lot of people, I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of people, man, they just doing surface spiritual work,
right?
Not doing the real in-depth work where you go into these different chambers. You know what I'm saying? These different houses that the Most High Ludamari has, where you can go into these different schools of thought and learn certain subject things. Because I can tell y'all, man, I don't read books all the time, bro. Majority of my information I've got from the universe. I've drawn down doing plant medicine. And I know it's on point because I can sit there and have a conversation with anybody about any of this stuff. Just
Right.
based on my own experience alone, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things I'm not saying to you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Absolutely.
But I know that if you really open up your mind, open up that third eye, and open up that crown chakra, you can receive a lot of information, man, that'll come to you, and then you can correlate it with things going on. I mean, you can have the best conversation with anybody. Baba Femi on down.
Absolutely.
I think even dealing with my EFA all the time, I think that, and I did this for over 90 days because a Babalawo from Nigeria came to my house when I first got out of Yibodu, and he came and prostrated in my in my driveway, and and he told me, he said, man, man, when you go to Arumala, man, don't go asking all those questions. Don't go praying for all that stuff. Just ask for wisdom. That one word. Just ask for wisdom. Give that a chance.
Right.
Give that 90 days. Give that 120 days. And then see what it does. And I can tell you, brother, that it has given me a lot of information. Rumala has given me a lot of information. I might slip up on a book. I might slip on up on some information, and I know that's a Rumala showing me the way. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And this me being honest again, because people always act like they doing everything correct, right? Man, when I first became a priest, I ran from being a priest. In a sense where I didn't want to take on the responsibility of having to help others.
Man, that's where I'm at.
And but as I'm building a community here in Dallas, you know what I'm saying? I'm building this community. I decided not to impede on my own success and do the work, even if I have to do the work free, or do it to somebody for free, or lead somebody into the right direction. Like Jamar and them and all them that came, brother, and Rakim them, man, I am overjoyed that these brothers even consider me as a person of wisdom and somebody to come to in their time of need.
Right.
I'll show you.
Very humbling. Because I don't feel like I'm the smartest guy in the world. And that's something I got to work through. And it's not about being smart. It's about being effective and being honest.
Right.
Even when you have these ayahuasca ceremonies and you're going through all these different plant medicine, you're trying them, your intention is not to go in to have an experience. Your intention is to give in, to let go. So that way the plant can show you what it wants to show you. If you go into there automatically saying, I better see something, you ain't going to see nothing.
Right. That's my problem. That's my problem.
Even
I want to
with
see
the
something.
rape.
I want to see something.
Don't go in there with that intention. It's going to, because if you go in there just to see something, you might see something that it might scare the shit out you. You may die. You know what I'm saying? You know, the brother said he did the psilocybin, right? Dr. Kalindi, right? And he was saying that when he done over 30, it was a 30-gram dose. He said he saw predator-like beings. So imagine you seeing them type of beings and you're not spiritually equipped to deal with it. You will get trapped over there, homie. So that's why I was like, Jimmy, when we do it, man, you got to, it's a mind frame. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Not about just your nose burning. What emotions is coming up when it's burning your nose? When you cheering, what emotions come up? Are you dealing with those emotions? Once you deal with those emotions, then the universe can open up and show you what he really wants to show you. But he know you're not ready. She know you're not ready. He or she knows you're not ready, so they're not going to open you up to those psychedelic or what they call hallucinate
Hallucinogens.
experiences that people have. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like even with the shrooms, 3.5 grams is not gonna really get you there. All you're gonna see is everything gonna turn brighter. You may see some colors, some real vibrant colors or something. And you may get to see some sacred geometry. But that's not penetrating the veil.
Right.
You got to do over 8 grams to penetrate the veil. The God knows. And most people ain't willing to do that. Because what? They're controlled by what? Fear.
Right.
I ain't doing that. That's too much. You
Right.
already lost. You ain't ready to go see what time it is.
Right. I think I was in too much pain to focus. I couldn't
That could
focus.
be true too. Yeah. All of that grounds you.
Right.
Which is all part of the ego. Your ego houses your feelings, your pain, your suffering, your protection. You understand what I'm saying? So, of course, you're not going to get to go to the places that most people say they went to on all these YouTubes or whoever you talk to. You understand what I'm saying? I was just at a place, being a seer too, I was just at a place where I was able to. But I can tell you this, the lady told me this on the first go round though. Because I asked the seer, and she said, "You can't see me. You talk to me right here through this fireplace. You can't see me. You in too much fear."
Wow.
You in too much fear, homie. If you see me, you gonna probably die. Because they talking about, and if you go and study other people and their experience, they talking about 10 to 17 foot beings.
Right.
A 20-foot woman talking to you. What you gonna do?
Shut up and listen.
No, you're gonna be scared in real life.
Right.
If a big old giant woman was to walk up to you, and we not used to seeing that, bro, it's gonna scare you, bro.
Right.
Real life. And she picking up cars and everything, throwing them across. Come on, man. You not. Come on. If Credible Hook was real, bro, you wouldn't just be running up on Credible Hook.
Right. Yeah.
So it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's respect to each and everything within the multiverse. You know what I'm saying? And understanding when you are allowed to go to different parts of the multiverse, you got to be on your best behavior in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. But you can talk like this all day, man. People think you crazy, bro.
Right.
So I don't even say much. I might talk to y'all, but I'm not out here really doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sticking to the basics.
And that's what I was thinking as you talking. I mean, me and you, like, we've talked for hours about this on the phone. But the one thought that came to my mind is, for people who have no idea about this, you do sound crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, you saying stuff, people would just be like, come on, man.
Man, they're crazy. He out of there.
Right.
Literally.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So this is not something this is not something really that, something I see people do it all the time on YouTube and all that, trying to gain an audience, as they say, or whatnot, man. To be honest with you, I'm still trying to figure it out. What did I see?
Right.
What was that?
Right.
Absolutely.
What was the message in that?
Right.
Am I afraid to do it again? No. Am I afraid to do it, Chonga? No. Am I afraid to do the shrooms? No. Rob Pay, no. Did the Rob Pay in front of everybody at the hotel room and kept helping them.
Right. Right. Right.
You know what I'm
Speaking
saying?
of which, if for people who aren't familiar with plant medicine and they hear this and they're like, yeah, I'm interested now. What would you suggest they start? Like what plant medicine?
Man, I would suggest any plant medicine because you're making it more recreational. Once again, it's a sacred plant. So these plants are supposed to be given to people who have trauma,
Right.
who are suffering from some form of trauma or sickness. So they can bring about a healing and a reset or rebalance of the equilibrium. This is
Okay.
not given. This is not to be given for recreation.
Right. But for those people, right, who need it to get over a trauma, to find some healing, where
We
would
just
you
like
send them?
as being an hour, and I would divine on it and see where they why they need to take this, and you know what I'm saying, and what's the benefit it's going to be for them. You know what I'm saying? We have to look at it as practitioners. We have to look at it from a more of a medicinal perspective.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying, and not as a recreational perspective, because now you're really in a sense being disrespectful to the plant, which is
Right.
supposed to be sacred. See what I'm saying? And because these plants house a whole, we talking about millions of years of information. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when one is ingesting millions of years of information, we want to make sure that that person is spiritually sound in a sense, or in a position where they can take this and that it would bring a benefit to their life.
Got you.
I think everybody's getting it out of pocket, man, commercializing this shit. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? And so I wouldn't suggest it for everybody. If I was the practitioner that was involved in the situation, I don't think everybody should have access to this. Because it's not for everybody. At first, it was only for the priest to take. If you go back and study who had the access to the plant medicine, it was the priest. We had the access because we needed to tap into the other multiverses and the various things in order for us to come back and teach the people. The masses. It wasn't for everybody. The common man wasn't allowed, you know what I'm saying, to gain this information in a sense. You know what I'm saying? If you study ancient Egypt and you study any of the teachings or the different tribes in Africa, that stuff was only given to the elders or the people that was like the priest or the witch doctor or whatever in that particular tribe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's put it in perspective. Like Baba say all the time, let's really turn up and let's really, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why I was like, man, taking it and getting online talking about it's cool, but is that what you wanted to get out of it?
Right.
Is that all you wanted to get out of it? Or do you want to be able to come back to the earth and be an extraordinary human being that can bring something profound to humanity and change the face of some things?
Absolutely.
Do you want to be that person? Do you want to create an idea that's going to revolutionize how we even move and shake as humans? That is the reason why you want to go and tap into that stuff.
Right.
One of the reasons. Another reason is to understand not just your mother's love, but true universal love, agape love. Because even your mama has some conditions to her love, homie.
Say that again.
Think about it. You turn 18 years old, 19 years old. You out here, you doing what you want to do and not doing what they asking you to do in order for you to, guide you into the proper life. what they gonna do?
Put you out.
They're gonna turn their back on you. So where's the unconditional love at? There is none. But it's only one unconditional love, and that's only from the creator of the multiverse, of all of this. And that love is deep.
Absolutely.
You understand? So that's why I came out with the Love Ashe thing. It's all about the love, bro. It's about really finding love. Not only just for your own self, but finding love, learning to even look at another person that you may not even like, but you can see the goodness in them.
Right.
Man, I ain't saying be their friend, but I'm just saying look at them with compassion and love. If you can talk to them, talk to them. If you can't, bro. You got to move on. See what I'm saying?
Right.
At least your intentions was all in love.
Right.
That's what the plant trying to teach you. At the end of the day, yeah, it's gonna show you some real cool stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it's trying to get you to learn love. Every other animal, every other species on this planet, man, understand true love, except the human being.
Right.
We the only one got all these issues. Everybody else follow the laws of the universe except us.
Right.
Right. And I think right there, that's a good place to end it.
Yep.
Awo, we greatly appreciate you tapping in with us.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
This is something that, Oseun and myself, has been a part of our journey. And we're still trying to figure it out. I'm probably gonna do another ayahuasca.
It's nothing really to figure out, brother.
Yeah.
This experience.
Ashe.
It ain't nothing to figure out. Just experience.
You're right.
And the knowledge is gonna come to you. It's gonna come your way.
You're right about that.
You don't have to chase this. You already been chosen.
Ashe.
Yeah. I say that. Y'all already been chosen. It's gonna come to you regardless if you want it or not.
Right.
Just be.
Right.
Be present to receive it. Be in the present moment. Don't be in the past. Don't be in the future. Be right in the present moment so you can receive it.
Ashe.
And that's gonna make you the best priest or practitioner in your field. I ain't saying better than the next man. I'm saying your best. You being your best.
Right.
So when people see you, they know. Oh yeah, that's an Awo out there. That's a Baba.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's our job. It's to be.
So we doing it for y'all.
Yeah, and you're doing it for your inner self.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everything outside of yourself is benefiting from you doing it for yourself.
Right. Absolutely. So again, we appreciate you for tapping in with us.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for letting me on the show, bro. Y'all know what it is. I've been wanting to get on.
All love. And we hope that y'all appreciated the show. We hope that you got a lot out of it. I hope you guys learned. Hope you kind of demystified the mystery of what plant-based medicine is. No, it's not anything to be fearful of. So continue to join us, continue to tap in with us as we go through this spiritual journey. Come back and see us next week. And as always, life's a journey. Don't forget the map. Peace.
All right. Peace, man. Love y'all, man.
Love y'all. Peace.